Hello everyone and welcome to Thinking Squared. This is Paul and today I'm going to tell you how to get a risk-free call option on Tesla. As a reminder, this is not financial advice and I am not a financial planner. I like to do this just to show an example of how I like to think about different situations. Now let's dive into how $100 plus a Cybertruck order equals a free Tesla call option. If you haven't watched my previous video of why I believe the Cybertruck will be Tesla's first truly autonomous vehicle, please do so. If you agree with me, it makes the idea of a Cybertruck pre-order being a great Tesla call option even that much more valuable. If you're unaware, Tesla currently has about 1.25 million pre-orders for the Tesla Cybertruck, and production has been delayed until late 2022. The great thing about ordering a Tesla Cybertruck now is that it locks in the price of not only the car, but the full self-driving package. As mentioned in my previous video, I believe Tesla's Cybertruck will be Tesla's first true self-driving vehicle because it will have hardware 4.0. The other great thing about a Tesla pre-order is that the $100 it costs is fully refundable if you decide not to take delivery of the truck. So to sum everything up, you spend $100 now, pre-order the Cybertruck, it locks in the price of the truck and full self-driving. It's not going to start production until late 2022. It might take a year or two before you get the truck because there's about 1.25 million pre-orders, which sets you up perfectly to have the first Tesla vehicle that's truly self-driving when the vehicles will be self-driving. I think it's going to take them a couple years of testing and collecting data with the new hardware on the Cybertruck before they can achieve true self-driving. So right when that point should be about hitting, you will get your delivery of a full self-driving Cybertruck that you can then deploy on hopefully a Tesla robo-taxi network. And the great thing is, if you change your mind at any point in time, cancel your pre-order and you get your $100 back. So that's why it is completely risk-free. Now you might be thinking, sweet, sounds like a good deal. $100 now for the option to potentially get a fully self-driving Tesla Cybertruck in the future that I can put out on a Tesla network and it can drive around and earn me money. Well, which Cybertruck should I get? Well, there's a couple different options you can pick from on Tesla's ordering webpage, and it's going to depend on what type of climate you live in, as well as how you plan to use the Cybertruck. Do you plan to drive it yourself most of the time? Throw it on the Tesla network a once in a while and get a little bit of cash back? Or do you want to fully deploy it 100% of the time on the Tesla network and collect as much money as you can? Here I create a little spreadsheet to help think about your different options. In column A, we have the type of Cybertruck, the rear wheel, dual motor, all-wheel drive, or the tri-motor, all-wheel drive. Here's a Cybertruck price. Then we have the cost of SFD, the self-driving software, which is always $10,000 now. Total costs. Stated range, we don't know the exact ranges of the Cybertrucks yet. Lowest range is 250 plus, mid-range is 300 plus, and the longest range is 500 plus. A few things to note about the range is when Edmunds tested the stated range versus what they actually got driving, they got about 2.8% less than the stated miles. So let's just assume the lowest range is 250, mid's 300, and the longest is 500. We'll subtract the 2.8% from those. We get 243, 292, and 486. Now, if it has a lithium-ion battery in it, you're not going to want to charge it all the way to 100%. Doing so degrades the battery. They recommend charging only to 90%. However, if it has an LFP, an iron-based battery, those are able to charge to 100% and they actually recommend it. My guess is that the shortest range, the 250, might have an iron-based chemistry to it. So that one you can probably charge to 100%. However, the mid-range, the 300-mile range Cybertruck, probably going to have a lithium ion, and you should only charge it to about 90% to maintain the battery life as long as possible. And now you're dropping down to 262 in terms of the miles it can drive. And then the 500-mile truck drops down to 437. Now, one other factor to consider is if you live in a cold weather climate. And if you live in a place that gets really cold, it's reported that the newest types of Model Ys get about a 20% reduction of range in the cold. So that means the 250-mile range Cybertruck drops down to 194 in the cold, the 300 down to 210 in the cold, and the 500 down to 350 in the cold. Now this is going to be important when you think about how you're going to utilize the Cybertruck on the Tesla robotaxi network. At the very top, you can see that I've found a typical New York taxi car drives about 70,000 miles a year, which is about 191 miles a day. If you want to fully utilize a Cybertruck on the robotaxi, the rear-wheel drive in a cold weather climate probably can't make it the full day without having to charge. It's going to be interesting how they handle charging on a Tesla robotaxi network. Is the Cybertruck going to be able to drive itself to a charger, and will someone be there that can plug it in and charge it up for you and send it back on the network? Will it come back to a charger close to you, and then you'll have to go out to the charger and plug it in and send it back out? Will it come back home? It's not quite sure. Will it be automatic chargers by then? It's a big unknown, but my guess is if someone is riding in the robotaxi and it needs to get charged before the next trip, it will offer that person a discount or even a free ride if they're willing to stop and plug it in and charge the Tesla up before it goes on to the next person. If you're in a cold weather climate, odds are there's snow. And if there's going to be snow, you probably want to get at least a dual motor all-wheel drive vehicle. If you live somewhere nice, warm, and sunny like California, and you're not going to be sending it up into the mountains where there's any type of snow or really cold weather, odds are the rear-wheel drive will be your best bet. You want to think about return on investment. So you want to spend as little money as possible to generate as much revenue as possible. And especially if you're gonna be sending around the city not too far away, it can come back to your house. You have someone there that can just plug it back in, or you can meet it at a supercharger and plug it back in there. It's going to give you the best return on your investment. Now, if you live somewhere super cold, say Michigan, and you're going to be sending it around, and it's not a very dense urban area, and it might have to do very long trips, getting the 500 plus mile range might be a good option. And at a minimum, you want the dual motor for the all-wheel drive to handle the snow. So to wrap this up, $100, pre-order the Tesla Cybertruck, lock in the price, lock in full self-driving software price. It's going to be the first self-driving Tesla that's out there because of hardware 4.0. With the delays in production and how many pre-orders there are, odds are you're going to be getting it right as a full self-driving software is actually becoming viable to drive itself. And then think about where you live, how you want to put it on the network, and that will help you decide which Cybertruck to pre-order. This is kind of a quick video this week, but if you made it this far, thanks for nerding out with me. Hit the like and subscribe and send it off to a friend who you think would like the content. Thanks again.